I'm Dr. Willie Jolley with my beautiful bride, Dee. And for those who might be watching on a replay or might be new to our program, our broadcast, this is our broadcast. We call it Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, the broadcast. Taken from my book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. And we are grateful. How you like the music? Y'all like our music? It's not new starting music close to you. That is from my jazz album. And I'm going to digitally remastering it so we can re-release it after these years as a digital release, a digital remastered release. So anyway, welcome to everybody. And I hope you've had a good week on purpose. Hello, Olympia, the great marriage. What is she? She's a wedding, not a marriage, wedding.
She's a wedding planner extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire. She's a member of ABC. I think it's the American Marriage.
Wedding. It would be wedding. American
Bridal Consultants. That's what ABC.
Okay.
So the marriage busters. We talked about their 5. This is number 3 of the 5. We talked about the first one was communication. Communication. We know that communication breaks up most marriages, really, and all said and done. What? Oh, I gotta stop. Linda and Greg are from Florida today. Lord, you guys
I want to be like them.
I want to be like them. Sometimes they're in West Virginia, sometimes they're in Ohio, sometimes they're all over the place. So welcome.
Wonderful life.
So anyway, Gina Falco. And Gina from Dr. Taylor-Jolley's team. Della Toro is my guest this week. Della Toro McNeil is my guest. I thank you, Gina, because Della Toro is my guest this week on my Sirius XM show with his brand new book, and it's awesome. It's an awesome book.
So they missed it Saturday.
They can hear it tomorrow night at 6
and Thursday.
And Thursday night at 6. Tune in to my XM show channel 141. Tuesday and Thursday at 6. Della Toro is off the chain.
And he's going to be at our church.
He's going to be on First Baptist of Glen Arden Bible Study tomorrow night. So you want to tune into that too. Yeah. FBCG Live at 7 p.m. tomorrow, Tuesday night. He's going to be 6 o'clock on my show at 7 o'clock.
Wow.
He's hitting
that is excellent.
We want to sell this book, hit the New York Times bestsellers list. That's the goal. All right, let's talk about sex. Now, we talked first, as I said, about communication.
Review.
Review, madam.
You're such a character.
That's how I got you to say yes. And that's the truth. After you said no for a year.
So, marriage busters.
Marriage busters.
Top 5.
Top 5.
So first you said communication.
Communication number 1.
Communication is the common thread. We always talk about that. We say, you're talking about that, but it's not just the talking. Communication is also the body language.
Yeah. And we find that if you have good communication, your love life gets better. And you have good communication, your money life gets better.
Good communication also means listening.
Listening, communicating.
2 ears, 1 mouth.
Woo!
Okay. So different.
So that means you listen twice as much as you talk. Oh.
But you get paid to talk.
Sometimes
I have to tell you, please be quiet and listen to me.
I do.
Right?
Yes.
Right?
Only off site. It doesn't happen at home. My son says when he comes, people say, I gotta say it. People say, I would say it. People say all the time, oh, you Willie Jolley's son. He must be motivating you all over the time. He said, my dad is very quiet at home. It's my mom who does all the talking at home. My dad does talking when you leave home.
So different communication styles. What communication style do you have?
I'm an extrovert. I'm all in, going full speed, 100 miles an hour. I speak about 200 words a minute with gusts
the different
up to
ways,
300.
the different definitions for communication styles.
Okay.
I'm thinking more along the lines of passive aggressive, and
well, you got to explain that if you're going to say it.
I don't know what passive people who like whatever you say. You call it shutting down. Okay, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Just do whatever you want to do.
Okay.
So you don't really mean it, but you say it anyway because you're like, I don't want to have anything else to say about that. You've gotten on my last nerve, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the aggressive It's my way or the highway.
Woo! Not good. Not in marriage.
You alienate people. You point your fingers. You pout. You storm around because you can't have your way, right?
Yeah.
Then you've got the passive aggressive, which is you pretend to cooperate, but you're really pissed off. And then you find little devious ways to undermine what your spouse is doing. Okay. And then you have the assertive. The assertive is considered the best. Direct, honest communication.
Straight up.
This is how what you're doing makes me feel.
Which just goes along with our 4Fs. Be friendly, be frank, be fair, be focused on a positive win-win.
Okay. So we're talking about communication.
All right.
And you can communicate. You're an introvert or an extrovert, or you're a combination of the two. And I forget what that word is called. Because no one is absolutely one way all the time. So you're a combination depending upon the circumstances, but you tend generally to be more one way.
Okay.
Like when we're out in public and we're working together, I am forced to be an extrovert in terms of initiating, in terms of getting things done. But my basic nature is to be quiet and reading 2 or 3 books at one time.
Right.
How about that? Okay.
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So then we talked last week about finances. And I call this finance failures. What?
Mm-hmm.
Terrence. Okay, finance. I call this finance failures.
Yeah.
Again, you're communicating or you're not communicating because you have not come to an agreement as to how to handle your finances. And we talked about the
5 personalities.
SSIIG, SIG. Is that right? How about that?
SIG, okay.
Okay.
SIG,
okay.
Which is
so
saver.
You can be, and this is really a very simplification of it. It's much more complicated, but you can be a saver.
Yeah.
You can be a spender.
Yeah.
You can be an investor.
Yeah.
You can be indifferent. You don't get any of it. I don't even know anything about how to handle any money, and I'm not concerned about it. And you can be a gambler.
Yep.
Okay. So it's important, and which one of those you happen to be is often determined by the kind of environment that you grew up in and how people valued money. But because you learned one way doesn't mean you cannot adapt and adjust. And that is where the communication comes in.
So I want to piggyback on something Fred Burden just said. So we talk about communication. With lack of communication impacts your marriage, and it impacts your sex life and your finances. He just said financial issues cause lack of desire. Also worried about the bills. That's right. When people are worried about the bills, they can't get it on like they want to get it on because that money is on your mind.
Well, getting it on might not be on their mind at all because they're concerned about whether or not they're going to be put out of their.
That's right. Whether they got food to eat, mm-hmm. How the finances are shaky.
So again, that's an important.
What do they say? No
romance without finance.
There you go. Come on, somebody. You're good. Well, there you go.
Okay. And then this week's topic is sex.
Sex. Headaches
and other lies. Next week is jealousy and infidelity, and then the week after that is insecurity.
So sex, headaches, and other lies. Where did that come from?
And that really relates to a chapter that we have. But get this. Now, we're talking about sex, headaches, and other lies, which is really a chapter in our book.
Chapter number 8.
But how we came up with our list, it actually varies. Our list is slightly different in terms of what constitutes the top 5.
Yeah.
How'd you come up with your list?
Research and talking to folks. We're getting lots of letters from people. Remember, folks, y'all can send your letters in, info@williejolly.com, if you want us to consider not sharing your name. We never share people's names or their personal information, but we will answer questions anonymously on this show, and it will not only help you but help others, because usually whatever's going on is not a singular issue that other people.
It's a symptom of something else.
Yeah.
And whatever your question is, can open the door to other issues, and we can help each other with in that conversation. Okay, so Terrence says, Dee, where do feelings come in when it comes to money? Money seems to be an emotional topic. Yes, money is an emotional topic because money deals with security.
Right.
I would say for me specifically, money deals with security.
Right.
So for some people, it's not a big deal. A paid for a house is a big deal.
Right.
For me.
Yes.
Right. Having what constitutes extra money? So I'm very specific. What constitutes extra money for one person might not be for another.
Right.
Like I'm in the midst right now of going through, because I handle the finances, our 401k plan, we just opened up the option of a Roth 401k. I'm like really excited about that. Is he really excited about that?
No, I could go out and make the money and then give it to her.
He needs to only understand how important it is from the perspective that our business has these options before taxes and after taxes. But I'm excited about it because of what it allows us to do in terms of our future in having monies that taxes don't have to be taken out of, because taxes are increasing.
You about to start.
I'm not going to go down there. But money is a very emotional issue. I don't know how many other people think it's a very emotional issue, but it is for me.
All right, so let's talk about
security.
Sex. I want to talk about sex. Okay, I want to talk about sex and one of the biggest problems with sex and people talking about sex. You're gonna go back to money. No matter where the congregation, you're gonna go back to money. Anyway, let's go. Here are the some of the biggest things I've gotten on my list that people are saying. One, no time for sex.
That was on my list. That was like
no time for sex.
For professional people.
Jobs, kids, household, social demands. No time for sex. Ooh, that's a problem. How do we fix it though?
So neither partner will make time for sex.
They're too busy. They're too busy. But you know what? That's why we tell you got to have a date night. Not only do you have a date night, you make time for each other. You put it in your schedule that it's important. She's a priority to me.
Now, a couple of the counselors that I was reading their information, like Laura Watson, who wrote a book. She's a therapist and an author of a book, Wanting Sex Again, How to Rediscover Desire and Heal a Sexless Marriage, says that you should have a sex date. Now, we talk about having date night, and our date night is Thursday. But she's to take it a step further. This therapist says you need to have a sex date because you're so busy. Just like you put everything else in your schedule, your sex date should be in your schedule. You're like, well, that doesn't seem very romantic. I think it's romantic that you put it on your calendar and that this is a priority.
Yeah, make a sex night. Make a sex night, right?
Yes.
Right? So this is important. Okay, that's one. We gotta get through them because we got a lot of them. One partner wants sex all the time, and the other one's like, not all the time. One partner needs it all the time, every day, every way. Woo, woo, woo. One partner saying, no, I ain't. All right, so that's an issue. And so sex night can work with that. Mm-hmm. And then having conversation, communication. Let's talk about it, okay? Third one.
So wait, so maybe the person who wants it, who doesn't want it all the time, because they have so many things on their schedule.
Well, that go back
to their biological or their physical clock or their. It's different.
And then another one is that this one, most time you think of that wanting all the time is a male thing. And here's one though that we've gotten a couple recently.
We had a conversation about that.
Not being satisfied.
But that's not the same thing as not. No, wait.
This is a new thing. This is a number 3. Okay. This is number 3. Another one. Not being satisfied. And this is where.
Is it a physical thing or is it an emotional thing?
Well, that's number 4. Okay, that's down the line. Wait, this is a physical, not being physically satisfied in the sexual process.
Are you saying not having fulfillment at the end of the sex act?
Yes.
Being very tactful here. Is that what you're
somebody rushing? A minute, man. I have only just a minute. Only 60 seconds in it. Force the puppy can't refuse. Didn't think it, didn't choose, but it's only. Can't be a minute, man. You got look. Think about baseball. Think about something else. Don't think about how great it is at that moment, and so you can elongate the process.
So what you're saying is that you have to be concerned about your partner.
Yes. Think about your partner.
If each person is concerned about the other,
that's the secret. That's the secret.
Okay.
My job is to make sure I take care of my partner's needs.
Yes.
It's almost like Stephen Covey. Seek first to be understood.
So
then
seek first to satisfy them.
And then you focus on yourself.
So if both of you are doing that, it's like the seesaw.
Seesaw, right? And that works. That keeps going. Hey! All right, that's what I'm talking about. All right, next, pain. It's some pain in the process.
Well, then in that case, you need to seek a doctor.
Yes, and there are specialists.
There are specialists. Oh, it's starting with your gynecologist.
Okay. And brothers, urologists, go and see them if there's a problem. There's some.
And go quickly. Don't wait. Don't be ashamed.
Go and say, I got a problem. I need some help. I need some help. I need to work something out. I need
and things change as we age.
Oh, that's another one I got on here. Aging issues. Now we can jump to it, but aging issues is something that we must discuss. And people have different weight issues. They're not, they're not the same size or the same body style.
So they might not be able to be as mobile as they or as acrobatic as one. You have to calm down.
I love that you take yoga. I love the yoga. I'll pay for it. Can I pay for the yoga class? I love yoga.
Calm down.
Ooh, Bobby said Bobby said sex without intimacy is a waste. That's right. So we got to, Bobby, we talk about that intimacy and security are critically important. And far too often we find, here's the next one. It goes right with
intimacy is not the same thing as sex.
No, that's right. And that comes to the point of physically ready versus emotionally ready. That's when we get all the time. Physically ready and emotionally. What does that mean? That means, brothers, I've said it over and over again, that women are crock pots. Men are microwave ovens. So, men, you push a button, bing, ready to go. Women, it's got to be, you got to work on it. You got to warm up the crock pot. You got to let it cook.
That's part of that developing the intimacy.
That's why when I start talking to you first thing in the morning, oh, you look good. I take you some coffee in the morning. Because I say, if you want to get something happening at night, you need to work on it in the morning.
That you know what turns your
and we've had a lot of women who come say, I cannot stand when he comes to the bed at night after we ain't saying nothing to me all day, and then tapping her on the shoulder. Ready? You ready? Bobby, that's what we mean. Intimacy. You got to have some intimacy. Hey, Terrence, ashwagandha. I got some new ashwagandha, by the way. Ashwagandha and Luthero, Damiana. Oh, it is fantastic.
None of that is important if you don't make the mate feel special.
That's right.
Because sometimes the ashwagandha and the Damiana,
well, that's just for your physical.
That is secondary to even wanting the intimacy, right?
When we go to Paris, I always say,
yes, dear, because you like being around and with your spouse.
Yes.
And you like being close to them.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, yes.
So
I'm funny. I'm sitting there thinking about I'm talking about Paris and I'm getting all turned on just thinking about you. You look so cute. Anyway,
bedroom slippers turn you on.
Okay, Anyway, okay, now arguing we see a lot of people say when we argue, it takes away all our sex drive. Woo! They argue. That's why you ought not to argue. Get out of the arguing phase. Stop being arguing. Now, why you gotta argue? Too many people argue when they don't have to argue because it takes two people to argue.
See, that's a whole separate issue.
I know, but they say arguing impacts their sex life. Yes. That's what I'm saying.
But I think everything impacts your sex life.
Let's go to the next one. A person said only one person initiates. Oh, we ain't got that problem. We do not have that problem.
Okay, so the question becomes, why is it? Is it tradition that only one?
Some dudes think that, oh, I gotta be the king
and
of the
if
town.
I don't initiate, you're taking away my masculinity.
Yeah, I got that.
Might have been part of the culture or the environment that they grew up in. Right?
I don't have that issue. I also don't have the issue about.
Then you have the other side where maybe the primary initiator says, you know what, it would be nice if my spouse initiated, because it would make me feel sexy or valued. But then if the spouse has never initiated, how do you even prepare?
I want you to read this.
That?
Read that, please, because this is for Bobby. Goes right to what he was saying. Develop the friendship before intimacy. That's okay. Right on, Bobby. Thank you.
Well, Willie was thoughtful, friendly.
On page number 122. If y'all don't have the book, you need to get the book. Get 2 copies, one for each of you, so that you can read it. We've had so many people come recently who've gotten 2 copies, say it just transformed their marriage.
Willie was thoughtful, friendly, funny, and easy to be around. He was patient and wise in how he handled my not interested attitude. Over time, he slowly became my best friend. Up to that point, my very best friends were always my parents. Yep. I talked to them daily about one thing or another, and they were my champions and made me feel I was capable of changing the world. That until Willie. And Willie slowly moved my parents out of first place and became my confidant.
Wow.
Okay.
It was friends before intimacy. We became friends and we talked, and I was looking out for her. She knew I was concerned about her, and I was sincere. So, Bobby, you're right on. You know, it's true. So, one person only initiates sex. You got to break that, okay?
Remember,
she chases me around the room. No, he was talking about this edifying.
Oh,
I know what I'm saying. All right, so she chases me around the room. So she chases me, and it's not me always initiating. It's going popping up.
We like each other.
Yeah,
and I think sometimes that can really be a stumbling block to intimacy and sex when you really fundamentally don't like the person. Then how did you end up there? That's another issue too.
That's a whole
so
nother
what
issue.
We're dealing with now are the major issues that occur in the bedroom.
One more that we have here is fatigue. People just wore out. Now, no time for sex is different from fatigue. I just wore out. I'm wore out. I'm tired. So that's when that date night, that sex night, that date plays a part, so that you can prepare for it. You can prepare your mind. And
okay, I had one which was being resistant to each other's fantasies. I thought that was really interesting.
We're gonna get a little spicy up in here.
Sometimes women will complain about the fact that their husbands don't necessarily want to take them seriously about some things that are important to them in the bedroom. That's kind of sad.
Hey, Yvonne Williams from Raleigh, North Carolina. Glad you're here. So let's talk about it. Okay. It's about sex. We're talking about Terrence. We're talking about the sex part. He said is exactly what we guys are talking about tonight. But look, folks, these are issues that we must discuss. And unfortunately, here's what's unfortunately. I'm a minister on staff ministry at First Baptist Church of Glen Arden. I grew up in the Methodist Church. I have my MA in theology, my doctorate in demon. And I believe that we must talk about faith, but we also must talk about the things that are breaking up people of faith. Well, and one of them is sex. Because church folk won't talk about sex.
How do you enjoy staying together? And that's a part of it. Another one is it's the relationship is now boring, and your mate puts in less effort in terms of being sexy.
We've heard that. We've gotten that.
We've gotten that. And I have an example of that. Before I discovered the flannel sheets, and I had the flannel nightgown on from here down, and you just said to me, that's not working for me.
That ain't working. That Granny Moses thing ain't working for me. No. Because
we talk about, and it's not being like derogatory or putting somebody down. You say, Dee, I don't like that. That's not working for me. I'm like, oh, okay.
And you tell me, and I don't know if I can even say it. It said those pants are too tight. Those pajamas are too tight.
I'm like, I don't like it. No.
No, she said they're too tight. They're too tight. No, they're too tight. No, we gotta get some.
They too tight because I can't.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
So I'm like, we just talk about it.
We talk about it.
Like,
there you go.
Oh, I gotta get rid of those. And I'm like,
Pop them
not working for me.
Get some with elastic or something. You know?
Yes.
There you go.
Elastic.
Oh, thank God for elastic. And look, we have fun, but we are talking about it. We're having communication. What we want to say is we got what is this? It says try cosplay. Cosplay. I don't know what that means, Lynn. Cosplay. I don't know what that means. You gotta.
I don't know what that is. You gotta explain it.
Yeah, you explain that to us. All right, explain that. So we got more comments. They coming in. This sex one is good. This one, good. We might have to do 2 weeks on sex. I don't know because this sex.
We didn't get to. Another issue is mismatched.
I like this one, number 4.
What?
4. They aren't upfront about their sexual preference. Who's on top? Who's on the bottom?
Whether or not you want the missionary position all the time,
or you want something else.
And so again, it goes back to communication. You don't know how to talk about it. How do you get started? How do you get started?
You gotta talk about it.
Okay. How do you get started talking about intimacy and sex if you've never really done it? I'm thinking about, okay, so all this time you dated and you did all this. How did it work?
Oh.
And then you get married and nobody can talk. I don't understand
One of the ones that we talk about in the book is you must not use sex as a weapon. Ever. You made me mad. You don't get none. Oh no. I'm going to stonewall. I'm not having sex with you. You know, people have done that. We've had one of our, I won't say one of our staff people talked about how shut it down. Wouldn't give a husband sex.
Okay.
And that wasn't good.
But was that on your list?
That was in the book.
One? Okay.
No, that was in the book.
Okay.
Get the book, everybody. Get 2 copies. Jolley Marriage.
So we're ending with, on my list, is not being upfront about what you like in terms of your sexual preferences, or being willing to share.
No, you got one more.
I know we don't have.
Oh, we don't have time for that.
We don't have time for
Maybe we'll have to come back next week. How do human beings take something so normal and make it so complicated? Good question, Terrence. Good question. Because people don't talk about it. That's how, Terrence. That's probably the answer.
So you make it up.
We sometimes the church is inhibited talking about sex, even though 50% of the people who break up in marriage are Christians, and they won't talk about this. Yeah, it's gonna take 2 sessions to this. Terrence says you got to have part 2 of this. She said dress up costumes. That's good. Olympia said what was that? Try
costume.
Costume
play.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, we like that. That's cool. All right. So look, we probably have to come back next week with this.
Like wearing your chef hat and nothing else.
Like coming to the house on your meat coat.
You don't have to talk about that.
I don't have to talk about that. That's what we're talking about.
That's when we have in-person discussions.
Yeah. And how about the time we were riding to Hampton and we said, let's pull over. It was late at night. We had the Volvo.
And take a nap.
We had the Volvo. And we were going to get William. So he was there.
I think a sense of humor is very important.
Make it happen.
Let's go back.
On the beach in St. Martin.
You're getting
on the beach in St. Martin. Just no one was on the beach but
us.
us.
You're getting carried away, sweetheart. You talked enough. Calm down.
I got to go, y'all. I got to go. See y'all. We got to go. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
So communication is the key. So we have to work on communication. How do you do that?
Oh, your pillow.
Here's a great way when you can't. Is that backwards?
It's backwards over there on Instagram, but it's okay.
When you can't figure out what to say, sometimes some helpful things. Isn't this the cutest thing?
But look to the other side.
Maybe you want to just kind of slide on over there too.
But you could
help to start communication.
We should. I tell you what, we should. If y'all want us to order some of these for you, let us know. Not tonight. Too tired tonight, but yeah.
Isn't that a great little gift?
All right, so y'all want us to order some? We can just send us an email, info@williejolly.com.
It's a great way to gently start to communicate.
We'll let you know what the cost will be.
That's how we all got here.
Amen. All right, so our time is up. This was a good one. Do you agree this was a good one? We need an hour. We're working on some sponsors. It's on Amazon. Okay, great. Just whatever the case may be, get this. You can get this. Get this at jollymarriage.com because we give you a better price if you get two of them. You get two of them. You're almost not quite for the price of one, but pretty close. You get 2 copies. We give you a break on it. 2 copies. Go to jollymarriage.com. Jollymarriage.com. Get the bundle, which is the book, the workbook, the audio book, and the seminar and CD. We want to help marriages, and we got so many people now.
We want you to enjoy
your relationship. Should be
like
fun.
We do.
We have fun.
And the key is the number one thing is effective communication. What? Listening.
Yep.
Leaning in.
Yep.
And loving.
Ooh,
right?
I like that. You're good. Hey, look, we got to go. I hope y'all enjoy our music as we go out every week. Our new music, intro and outro. We hope to see you soon. We want to thank you for your support. We want to thank you for telling everybody.
Amazon for the pillows.
Yeah, I might be Amazon.
Yeah. Someone looked it up.
Good. Okay. And then get the books, though. We want you to get the books and the workbooks because we want to save marriages. Hey, our time is up. This is Dr. Willie Jolley.
And this is Dee.
Jolley out.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.